So hello everybody. In this video we are going to discuss about data augmentation. So we all know that the performance of most of the machine learning models as well as deep learning models in depends on the quality, quantity and relevancy of training data. However, in the data that is available to us is insufficient in amount. So that insufficient data is the common challenge in implementing machine learning by various enterprises. This is because collecting such data can be costly, expensive, or very much time consuming in most of the cases. So companies are going with the alternative that from the new data, from the few amount of data, new data can be generated, and from that the generation of new data, which is also known as synthetic data. This data is basically generated by the process of data augmentation. So data augmentation is nothing else. It is just a set of techniques to artificially increase the amount of data by generating new data points from the existing one. It includes making small changes to the data or using deep learning models to generate the new data points like GAN is there. So we are having data, and with this data there is a human expert that is being using certain df sequences like rotation of data, flipping of data, and a number of other tasks are available from which we get the augmented data, which can further be used for machine learning models. So we also need to understand why is this important, why this data generation is important. So machine learning applications, especially in the deep learning domain, continue to diversify increase rapidly. So data centric approaches to model development such as data augmentation technique can be a good tool against the challenges in artificial intelligence world. So data augmentation is useful to improve performance of the models. This is one of the merit we can say, and outcomes of machine learning models by forming new and different examples of the training data. So from here we can say cross validation process can be done by having a different amounts of data and by flipping the data and variations in the data. So this performance is improved by machine learning models forming new and different examples of in the training set. If the data set in machine learning model is rich and sufficient, the model performs better and accurately. So we can say rich amount of data will leads to better and accurate ML models. So for machine learning models, collecting and labeling data can be exhausting and costly process. Transformations in data using data augmentation techniques allow companies to reduce these operational costs. Reduce operational costs, so here can be one of the advantages. One of the steps in data model is cleaning the data, which is necessary for high accuracy models. So however, when we talk of the process of data cleaning that we discuss in the next video, it reduces the representability of the data. Then the model cannot provide good predictions for the real world inputs. Data augmentation techniques can enable machine learning models to be more robust by creating variations that the model may see in the real world. So when we talk of from the point of view of image classification and and segmentation, this is important from the data augmentation point of view as well. So it says that making simple alterations on the visual data is very popular. Here we talk about GAN, which means nothing else than generative adversarial networks, or GNs for short, which are used to create new synthetic data. So they will create new synthetic data. So classic image processing activities for data augmentation can be many, like few of them are like padding of the data, random rotation of the data, scaling or rescaling of the data. We can also go with the vertical and horizontal flipping. In this case, horizontal flipping, translation can be there, cropping of the data can be there, zooming the data, because we are talking of the visual images. We can darken or brighten the images, grayscaling can be there. We can change the contrast. In that case, we can add noise to check if there are some changes in the data, or we can randomly erase from this. Fine. So this can be few techniques which can be there for data augmentation process. So we also need to understand how this it is different from the synthetic data. So generating synthetic data is one way to augment the data. There are many approaches like making minimal changes to the existing data to create the new data. Fine. So in that case, we can also say that there can be other processes, or there can be certain benefits of data augmentation. So this can be like, we can say one of them is improving model prediction accuracy. Fine. Reducing the cost of collecting and labeling data, enables rare event prediction. Also, it prevents data privacy problems. These are one of few of the benefits of data augmentation, which says prediction accuracy can be improved by adding more training data, preventing the data scarcity for better models, reducing the overfitting from the data, increasing the generalization ability of the model, and all such things can be there. Besides these benefits, there are few challenges in data augmentation also. Fine. So here we can say companies need to build evaluation system for the quality of augmented data. So we can say quality is one of the question mark when the data is augmented or generated. As use of data augmentation methods increases, assessment of the quality of the output will be required. Data augmentation domains need to develop new research and studies to create new synthetic data. So we can say new studies are to be done, new research is to be done when we talk of data augmentation, so that the generated or synthetic data will become applicable. If the real data set contains biases in the data, means if there is bias in existing data, then there will be problem that in the new generated data it will also consist of biases. Bias is nothing else. Bias is simply the difference between the actual and the predicted value. We have another video about bias and variance, so you can go for that also. So if the real data set contains too many biases, then for sure the augmented data will also contain so many problems of biasness. Fine. So that's all about data augmentation. So if you have any query, write in the chat box. Thanks for watching.